Hi, sweetie. No, this isn't porn. I'm trying to do some research on Brazilian honing stones, and I keep ending up with this Brazilian waxing stuff. Hi, folks. Welcome back to the shop. Period Woodworker here. I wanted to start off my series of a closer look at all of the antique razor hones, sharpening stones, uh, whetstones or whetstones, however you refer to them. And I picked up one of these the other day on the internet for, I think it was like $2. And so I thought, since I had this out and it just arrived, I thought I would start with these. These are very hard to find. They're usually not complete, and you need to know what to look for. But if you can happen to come across one of these, they're a wonderful honing stone. They will work for chisels, plane blades, straight razors, knives, just whatever you might have that you need to sharpen. These are a good start, and they will carry it all the way to the good finish. So let's take a few minutes and look at these a little bit closer. Again, these are Brazilian honing stones. I've only located two manufacturers that sold these. One was the Klaus Company. As you can see, let me get in here a little closer. Brazilian hone, Klaus Company. They sold different shears and things like that, and I believe that they were located in Fremont, Ohio. The other manufacturer that I found, and you see quite a few of these, is the Bracket Compound Brazilian hone by the Crockett and Company, and they were located in Michigan. Let me show you what to look for when you do happen to come across one of these, and how to know if it's a good one or one that you're going to have a little bit of work for. Before we get into that, I wanted to tell you, and I'll just read off of the box, what these are made out of. When you see these advertised on eBay or some of the sites, they're always referred to as a glass hone. And they do look like a glass hone. They're kind of a chocolate brown. Some of them are more translucent, and some of them are not. But they're all made from Brazilian quartz. Through some process that they used many years ago, they mixed those with some compound. Then they melted them down in a sintering type process, I'm assuming, and ground them to a smooth and a true surface. So they always came with a small piece of a Belgian honing stone. These were also in a lot of use. So the one good thing about that is about half of these that you'll find, you're not going to get the honing stone with it. They come without it. Usually it was just a little odd-shaped piece of one. But if you have one broken, or if you have one that you don't use, they certainly are a good substitute, and you can use them to work up a slurry on these stones. And the way that you would work to shave your razor was the original use of this. You would work up a slurry with the Belgian honing stone. Then you would do your honing with that on the razor through a back and forth motion, with them resting flat on both sides of the bevel on the razor. You would work them until it would test as it had an edge through the thumbnail test, or there are a lot of different ways that straight razor aficionados test that. And then you would rinse it off. You would then rehone several more times on just the stone without the slurry and without the Belgian honing. That tells me that it's probably a pretty fine stone if that would work up to the finished sharpness that you needed to shave with. So again, here's how you find these most of the time, and the only ones that I've ever found are 5-inch or 7-inch. The 7-inch, you can kind of see, if I hit the light right, the translucence in that stone. And the other way that you'll find them is they will be more like this, and it's kind of a black matte finish, almost like a black hard Arkansas, but it's nothing like an Arkansas. They will come with little chips that you might see on the side there, but usually these are in very good shape. If you find one that is not a lot of wear on, this is a wooden shoe that these are glued to, these are the first things that really seem to take a beating because of all the water, which is necessary. And a lot of them will look like this. You'll have pieces of or dried parts of the old slurry that you had on them. But they're a good stone. And you would do this just like any other razor stone. You would wet it, you would work up a slurry, and then commence sharpening your razor. You can do the same thing, and I use these sometimes with chisels. The one last thing that I want to get into that you have to be very careful of, this one that I recently purchased that was advertised as never used, I don't know if I can totally believe that, and I'll show you why in a minute. This one, which really shows a lot of use, is the truest of all of the stones that I have in my collection. And here's how I test them. I just use a regular Starrett it's a pretty thick 3/16 inch thick straight edge. I keep this in the container, the package that it came in all the time, so I keep it true. I'm very protective of this. But you can test these like any other razor. You can lay them on there. You can see where they pivot. On this one, it's pivoting around about right here, which shows that it's a little high. This, you do it over on the side. It's about the same, only a little further back. And that's relatively flat for these. But if you get into the, let's look at this one that was supposed to be unused or brand new. Now this is one that was made by Bracket. That other one was one that was a Kloss company. But on this has a noticeable hump. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it, but you can also see that there is a slight bit of light that goes through there. So this one has a pronounced hump in the middle, and if you were going to use it for something that had to be extremely flat, like a chisel or especially a plane blade, you're going to have to true this. Now I'll be doing some videos in the future on how to true these up, so be sure you're subscribed so you get notification of those. You might come across one that looks like this, and you can tell this one has had some attempt to straighten it up. It's got a light place right in the middle. That might be from use, I don't know, but this one also has a hump in the center. If you're using this for knives, for things that don't need a perfectly flat and true stone, they're perfect just the way they are, no matter how you find them, unless they're broken or something like that. But if you're going to do a straight razor, then you at least have to have straightness going across the short dimension of the stone, so that when you pull it, it wouldn't make any difference if there might be a little hump in there, as long as it wasn't too much, and it will work. Most of these, when you test them, they are straight going across. They may actually have even been manufactured with a slight hump on the end. So again, this is just a very quick look at the Brazilian honing stone. Even though I picked one up for a couple dollars the other day, these usually are probably, if somebody knows what they are and they're selling them, they're going to run you probably $50, $60. So we're in 2013. I don't know when you might see this video, but it's early 2013. Again, it's not of a major concern if you don't have the slurry stone. Like out of the 5 that I have, only 2 of them have the slurry stone. Usually what you'll find is these have almost no wear on them. Sometimes you'll find that they use the slate backing on the stones to do that, which maybe that was because they didn't know better or didn't know that the best side was the yellow side. So that's all I've got for you right now. We'll come back and take a look at. I have several other weird types of hones. We have some aluminum hones, some copper hones. We have some bonded aluminum with Arkansas, one that had a pike stone attached to it. Have all kinds of strange and interesting hones, and we'll get to it. So thanks for joining me. I hope this wasn't too long, and I hope that if you liked it, that you'll subscribe to my channel, as I'm going to be doing a lot of these, and it might be easier for you just to get notifications. So, plus I like to see the subscribers out there and hear some of the comments. So, thanks for joining me. Get some of these bracket or Kloss Brazilian honing stones so that you can have sharp tools and do good work that'll make yourself happy. Period Woodworker here. Thanks for joining me.